Hi, this is my project for lifespan development. My name is Lucia, and this is my project about the gut and the microbes. So the first question was to describe the following items: the gut microbes and what we eat, and gut microbes therapy. So the gut is a long tube that starts from your mouth to your anus. Its primary job is to capture nutrients and to absorb them into our body to make things like energy. This is a very efficient process that gives us energy. It also affects many different parts. The gut is full of things called microbes. These are very, very small little things that all together are very important for our health and our survival. This can be seen in animals that do not possess these bacteria. They are very nutrient deficient. The microbiota are all the microorganisms living in a particular environment, such as the gut. The microbiome is the entire collection of genes found in all the microbes associated with a particular host. Aging actually changes our microbiota. Gut microbes and what we eat. Water and food that we eat has microbes in it, so it changes everything. Diet is a major driving force in shaping the human microbiome. The microbes can actually control eating behavior by influencing signals delivered to the brain by the vagus nerve. These different microbes can also mimic hormones that make you hungry or can even make you stop eating. Gut microbes therapy. What is it? Gut microbes therapy is when you transfer a microbiome from one donor to another person in order to improve their health. How is it therapeutic? Gut microbes therapy can help fix many parts of health, including critical disease. It's also really important to make sure that your donor is heavily screened before, so that it's really healthy and safe. One research study related to this is in the 1950s, there were a select few near-death humans with critical diseases that were saved, cured with a form of colitis. This was the first research study on humans. Question number 2. What is a new thing that you learned from this theory that you did not know before? I didn't know the extent of how our behavior is directly linked to our gut microbiome. For instance, there was a study with animals that had them kind of transfer different microbiomes to see how their behavior, and they changed, and they found that traits linked to autism were actually either suppressed or made more present depending on their microbiome. And I thought that was really cool because I didn't know the extent of it. I knew that your microbiome, the bacteria in your gut, can lead to physical things, but I didn't really understand the extent of which it emotionally and mentally affects you too. That leads me into question number 3. What are the specific areas of our body that get affected by the type of microbes in our guts? Gut microbes can actually transfer emotions from one host to another, you could say. This was seen in mice. When their microbes were switched, they actually kind of switched their personalities. Obviously, this isn't known for humans because we're not mice, but I thought that was really cool. Mood and emotion. So dopamine and serotonin are important chemicals that help our brain function. The microbes in our gut can help mimic or even block the production of these chemicals. This is important because dopamine and serotonin can link to things like insomnia and depression and other mental health factors. Sleep and mood. It also can affect how you sleep, obviously, in your mood. And energy levels are also affected by your gut health. Question number 4. Important chemicals and hormones found in our brains that are thought to be affecting our overall health are now found to be produced in our guts. The idea is make your gut healthier for improvement of overall health. One major element to make our guts is bacteria. Due to the video, how is the type of our bacteria determined at the beginning? Do we get bacteria microbes from others or any other external activities? And if so, what types of activities or elements cause us to exchange our bacteria? So when we're born with pretty much a clean slate. We get a lot of our microbes from our mother when we're born. This is also affected by so many different factors. So, for instance, the mode of your birth. Babies born via C-section get a lot of their bacteria from people around them, so like doctors and the parents. But babies born vaginally get a lot of their bacteria from their mother. Another thing that is dependent on is if you're a preemie or if you're full term. This can also affect your microbiome. If you have a normal birth, or if you have to stay in the NICU. If you're born at home, or if you're born at the hospital, the hygiene of your birth very strongly affects the bacteria in the baby. If you breastfeed your baby or if you bottle feed your baby, this also affects your microbiome. The water and food that we eat also affects our microbiome. Pets, if you live on a farm or if you have pets, the animals can bring different bacteria that you wouldn't necessarily have before. This is why a lot of people, especially the speaker in the video, recommends you get your child a pet, because it can help strengthen their microbiome and have more diversity. The places that you live also can affect your microbiome. So for instance, I've moved like 5 times in my life, so my microbiome would be different compared to someone whose hometown is the town that I live in right now. We'd have different microbiomes. Obviously, we all have different microbiomes, but it would be drastically different. Okay, question number 5. What types of food is considered effective to increase good bacteria or good microbes in our guts? List 5 food sources that improves gut microbes. So the first one that I found was a seaweed diet. This was in the video, and it was said that Japanese people have the microbiomes present for this actually to like work. So it depends on your personal microbiome, and it's kind of cool because it helps their microbiome, but it might not help someone else's. Another thing was fruits. The speaker recommended to get 5 servings of fruit every day because it helps improve your microbiome. Additionally, vegetables, beans, nuts, whole grains, those types of foods. And then finally, a really important one is yogurt. Yogurt has a lot of probiotics in it, and that's a really important thing that I will talk about when we get to antibiotics. Prebiotics are also important, so making sure you find foods with these sources is really important. Question number 6. What is the effect of taking too many antibiotics for too long for our bodies and our gut bacteria? What other things that affect reducing gut bacteria that in turn deteriorate overall health? So when you take too many antibiotics, or if you don't play outside enough as a kid, or you don't have a pet, or you just don't do things to improve your gut health, there's less diversity in your gut, meaning different types of bacteria aren't going to be there. This makes, when you get like a disease or anything, it makes bacteria antibiotic resistant. An instance of this is in MRSA, which is present in a lot of hospitals. And this kills many, many people a year because MRSA is deemed antibiotic resistant, so the antibiotics that you use on it will not work anymore. Another thing that was interesting is that mice that were experimented on, ones where they had too many antibiotics, developed allergies to things like peanuts. And obviously allergies are a really important, like, pivotal thing in our society because a lot of people are allergic to things. And antibiotics are also heavily used, so maybe there's a link to that. Okay. Question number 7. What do you yourself do in order to improve your gut bacteria? Okay, so this is a fun little story time. My junior year of high school, I was sick basically from summer to summer. Like, I was sick the entire year. I had so many things wrong with me and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. I was constantly on some sort of medicine. It was antibiotics because they didn't know if I had like a chest infection or steroids, like different things. I ended up having asthma, but that's not important. While I was on these antibiotics, my doctor thoroughly was like, she needs to take a probiotic, she needs to take a probiotic so that her gut health like stays. And it's actually right here. These are my little gummies I take, my probiotics. I take those, and I'm not on that medicine anymore, but I still take them because they make my stomach feel better. I take those. I have lots of yogurt. Yogurt's really important, obviously. It has probiotics and everything. When I was on all those medicines, I took the special little probiotic yogurts. I think I just make sure that I have that. Another thing I like to do is to, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Obviously, eat my 5 servings a day. It's pretty good for your health, and especially for your gut health. Finally, the last thing that I do to help improve my gut bacteria is take lots of fiber, which they didn't really talk that much about in the video, but when I was doing some research, I found that eating lots of fiber also helps, and like, I have stomach issues, so taking fiber helps me for that anyway. Fiber supplements I take, I also try to eat more like leafy green foods and other things like that. So overall, from doing this assignment, I found lots of things that I didn't know before about our gut health. It's going to be really interesting for me to take that and use it to my best ability to help improve my gut health. Thank you.